In this video today, I'm going to share with you a very vital information. I will advise you watch this video to the end, especially if you are an international student currently studying in the UK or you intend to come to the UK to study on a Tier 4 visa. So you're welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel Dano. In this channel, I share with you travel abroad opportunities for work and for studies. I bring to you the realities of life abroad and the challenges faced by immigrants, so that when you make that decision to move to the West for whatever reason, it will be an informed decision. If this is your first time in this channel and this is a thing that interests you, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that when I upload new and interesting content, you'll be notified. And if you're a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate your likes, your comment, your shares, and for coming back to watch this video. So let's talk about this information I want to share with you. Imagine that you are done with your studies and moved on with your life, and then when you thought everything about your study era in the UK have been put behind you, and then somehow something you did while on your student visa caught up with you. Now, this is a story that I'll be sharing with you about someone who studied here in the UK. Let's take a step backward. Now, if you are international student in the UK on a Tier 4 visa, there are some obligations which are referred to as the terms and conditions that you must stick to as an international student for the duration in which you are on that Tier 4 visa. And one of them is that you must not work more than 20 hours a week. Another one is that you don't have access to public finance, is that you cannot do business or be self-employed under your Tier 4 visa. During the wake of the COVID-19, the rule on working hours was tweaked a little bit to allow people who were working for the NHS and in the care sector to work more than 20 hours, okay? But this did not extend to some other sectors like those working in factories, in warehouses, and other places, apart from the NHS and social care, okay? Now, it is common knowledge that some people who travel to the UK to studies, some find a way to prove their finances without actually having the money in their account to pay the balance of their tuition fee. They come to the UK with a plan or intention of working here to raise money to balance of their tuition fee, okay? Now, while some people have successfully done this in the past, okay, without falling short in their payment and also without being caught by the Home Office, some people have not been that lucky. Some people have had their school report them because they're not able to keep up with the numbers of hours they're supposed to go for studies, or being contacted directly from the Home Office because they have seen that these people are working more than 20 hours. And some of them were caught in the process of trying to either extend their visa or switch to other visa. But something happened which, for me, I find very surprising. There's this young man who, while on his Tier 4 visa, worked more than 20 hours. He worked more than 20 hours for the duration of his Tier 4 visa. And he did his program, he graduated. All right. Luckily, he got a job that sponsored him on a work visa, and he successfully switched. He applied for a Tier 2 visa and he was granted the visa. He was granted leave to remain in the UK under the Tier 2 work visa. I have been in some forums where sometimes people have come to ask, am I allowed to work more than 20 hours? You know, if you work more than 20 hours, will you be denied post-study work visa or another visa? And a lot of people, some people have come out to say, I had known somebody who worked more than 20 hours and was able to get the visa. I know somebody who worked more than 20 hours and was able to switch to another visa. Myself, I have worked for more than 20 hours. I was able to switch. So people have been sharing things like that, okay? And some of these international students go on to work more than 20 hours because somebody has said in the forum that either they themselves or somebody they know have worked more than 20 hours and that did not hamper their chances of either extending their visa or switching to another visa. I'm sure the person involved in this story I'm sharing with you right now may have also asked the same question, and somebody have said, look, I did it, or I know somebody that did it and there was no problem, okay? Now, yes, of course, there are cases where people have been able to do this successfully and got away with it undetected, and there was no issue and there have not been any issue. But not everybody is lucky to do that, okay? Now, this young man here applied for a Tier 2 visa and was granted. Now, about a week or two later, or about a month, I don't know how long, I don't know the duration between when he got the visa and when he got this mail I want to share with you. So he got the visa, and of course, he would have celebrated and, you know, thank God that, look, even though I worked more than 20 hours, I was able to switch my Tier 4 visa. And now at this point, he may have thought, okay, everything about my Tier 2 visa, my Tier 4 visa have been put behind me. Everything about my studies have been put behind me. After all, I've graduated and I've gotten a job with a sponsorship. And then one day he wakes up and then he received this email from the Home Office, okay, canceling his Tier 2 visa and reversing the decision that granted him that leave to remain. Now, I'm going to share with you and I'm going to read out a section that is very interesting, which is why I'm doing this video, okay, which is the reasons for cancellation. Now, listen, he said, a decision has been made to cancel your permission to stay in the UK so that it expires with immediate effect. The reasons for this are: you are specifically considered a person who have gained leave to remain by deception. You were granted leave to remain until 14th of September 2027 after applying for a work leave to remain visa. This was granted after you declared you have not breached any previous condition of your Tier 4 student visa. Your permission has been cancelled because you previously failed to comply with your student visa by working more than 20 hours per week, breaching your conditions. I am therefore satisfied that you have ceased to fulfill the requirements of your visa. Your permission is cancelled from the 19th of October 2022 with immediate effect. Why this case is specific to the fact that the person worked more than 20 hours, there are other obligations attached to your Tier 4 visa. One of it is that you must not be self-employed or do business. Now, there have been situations where some students, in order to kind of beat this 20 hours work time, they go on to register a company and they work as self-employed, because there are companies that allow you to work as self-employed where you calculate your own tax yourself and pay. You use a company name and they pay directly to that company, and then you can do your own tax and whatever thing you need to do. In other words, you are doing a business, which is actually against the terms of the Tier 4 visa. Why this can be tempting? Because it allows you to work many hours and sometimes go undetected, and also means you make more money and you're able to either pay your tuition fee if you're not able to pay them completely before coming, or if you don't have the balance of it sitting somewhere in your account, you're able to work and raise money for this. But the thing is, in this case right now, you'll be breaching two rules. The first is that you should not be working more than 20 hours, which you will be working. And the second is that you are supposed to do business, which you're not doing as a self-employed person. Okay, there's also another condition that says you should not have access or access public fund when you're on a Tier 4 visa. Now, there are people who, in the course of working or either registering a company and working as self-employed or operating under a company name, they have received money from the government under either a COVID-19 relief for businesses in the UK. There are stories of some people who received up to £25,000 from the government on when the government was paying out money to support small businesses, that may have been affected by the COVID-19. Now, why this may sound juicy and sweet in your ears and in your mouth and it may give you more money, the thing is that you are breaching the terms of your visa. And when in the future, even if you do not stay in the UK beyond the duration of your student visa, if in the future at any point in time you decide to apply to come to the UK, these records will be checked. So I am bringing this to you especially because I do not want you to make that same mistake. Please do everything you can to stick to the terms of your Tier 4 visa. If you were not aware that there was anything like that, please, there is a document that comes when you apply for your Tier 4 visa and a decision is made issuing you that visa. There's a document that comes along with that. That document states the conditions for state the terms and conditions for your visa. Okay, things you can and cannot do under the Tier 4 visa. Please read them, understand them, and make sure you stick to them. Now, put yourself in this situation and imagine that you wake up one morning and receive an email canceling your visa, a Tier 2 visa, with immediate effect, which means you have less than 24 hours to leave the country. I'm sure that's not the position any of us who want to be in. And right now, with the way the UK government is going, with the way the things I've been talking about, immigration, student, dependent, and all of that, I think they are going to be they are going to scrutinize every application and are going to be digging a lot of things. I think they are going to be focusing very much on people on Tier 4 visa. So please be very careful and make sure that whatever you are doing, you don't put yourself in a position where you make a decision to extend your visa or switch to another visa. One thing you did, one avoidable mistake that you made will not come and jeopardize your chances or put in a situation that you do not like to be. This is what I wanted to come and share with you in this video, and I hope you have learned something from this. Please share this video to your friends who may be studying in the UK as international students, or those who are planning to come to the UK to study, so they can get this information beforehand before they come into the country. This will help them to operate within the dictates of their visa and not go beyond what the visa allowed them to do in order for them not to get into trouble with the authorities. Some people have been reported by their schools, and this in most cases is maybe because of you're working too many hours, and because of that, you're not able to meet up with the minimum hours you're supposed to be attending lectures. And remember, you have your NI, which the government, the UK government, and of course, the more you work in this country, the more you are taxed. Okay, so from your tax, from your NI and other things, the government will know that you're working more than 20 hours, more than the hours you're allowed to work as an international student. So please be careful out there and do your best to stick to the terms of your visa. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have been able to add value to you. If I have, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell because there are many other videos that are coming. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.